So, PayPal. Yes, many of you will be aware of the PayPal scandal that took place not so long ago. It's a money transfer services provider, which many of us use to transfer money to entities and individuals of our choosing. And recently, PayPal made the decision, executively of course, to close down the account of the Free Speech Union, founded by Toby Young. It also decided to close down the account of the Daily Skeptic, founded by Toby Young. And it also decided to close down the account of Toby Young. So it doesn't take a rocket science to work out what all of those accounts have in common, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Now, understandably, lots of people were quite outraged by this decision, coming as it did out of the blue. There were outraged citizens and ordinary individuals and organisations who use PayPal, who threatened to boycott PayPal. There were Tory ministers in the UK who raised the issue in the House of Commons. And then there were free speech campaigners across the world who saw this as a censorial effort by PayPal to control the terms of public debate. What I want to focus on as bad law is the apology that PayPal issued shortly after the furore when they said, and I'm paraphrasing, we take seriously the views of our customers and stakeholders, and so we're very sorry, Toby Young, and here are your accounts back. Now, it's easy to think of this as a victory for Toby Young, a victory for freedom of expression, but there's more to it than that, and I'd like to talk about that briefly. What are we to make of the fact that PayPal has the right to issue an apology? Is it really a victory for freedom of expression? Is it really a victory for the freedom of association? Because basically PayPal is saying that it gets to decide who we transfer assets to and who we don't. Is it a victory for the freedom of contract, which is the fundamental building block of English common law? And freedom of association and freedom of expression are also enshrined in the European Convention on Human Rights. Is this apology issued by PayPal to Toby Young a victory for these highly valued human rights principles and contractual principles upon which, at least in England, our legal system is founded? No. The apology is an effective way of scraping PayPal's mud under the carpet and preventing us from asking the questions that really matter. Now we're saying, yay, Toby Young got his accounts back. Yay, a victory for free speech. Instead of which, we should be asking, PayPal, on what basis did you make the decision to close these accounts? On what basis did you single out Toby Young? What right of reply did he have? By what legal principles do you operate, PayPal? Which legal system do you work within? Which systems of law and governance are you accountable to? And to whom are you accountable? And finally, where are you domiciled for litigation purposes? Who are they targeting and why? Just recently, in Australia, Nigel Farage was invited to speak, and it hit the news just yesterday that he has been saddled with a $3,000 bill for security by the New South Wales Police. Now, effectively, unless he pays that bill and has that security, his ability to speak at the event that he's attending will be compromised. The point here is that whatever you think of Toby Young, whatever you think about free speech, and whatever you think about Nigel Farage, these are not the kinds of coercive tactics that we've seen in history, practiced by totalitarian movements such as arrests in the night, off to the gulag, or even summary execution. These are a different kind of terror tactic which create a chilling effect that has everybody thinking, well, I better not enter the foray of freedom of expression because I might be targeted by one of these companies. And they'll do it gently. They'll administrate your free speech out of existence by closing your accounts, freezing your assets, or landing you with a huge security bill. I call this totalitarianism without terror, but it is, in its own way, chilling, and we should all be paying attention to Twitter, PayPal, and any other corporate entity that thinks it can slip through legal loopholes, ignore enshrined principles of common law and human rights, and most seriously of all, decide the terms of public debate.